Here's the rig room setup. Cooling issues have been resolved. Built this room right here. We'll be going up in the attic and I'll show you how it works. But turn the light on. Got my 1070 rig here hooked to the TB250. Got 12, or that's 1060s, GTX 1060s. Those are GTX 1070s. Hooked to the new Asus V250 board. I really like that board, by the way. I think I might buy that for the rest of my builds. This is the Z270P Frankenstein rig with all different 1070, 1060s. Then I got my original tried and true GTX 1070 straight from NVIDIA founding editions hooked to an Asus Z270A, and I bought two more from Best Buy to make it 8. But these run really solid. They don't take that much power either. But got a little fan blowing on that just to keep some air moving in the middle, because I only have these 4 cooling lines coming in. You got one that splits off to 2, and they come up from up in the ceiling down here, pulling cool air from the house. And in the winter, when it actually cools down here, it's almost November, it's still 90-something degrees out. I'll pull from the outside once it gets, 85, 80 degrees or lower, all 24/7. But yeah, I used to have the rigs up here, but they were kind of hanging out up top where all the heat hangs out. And if you don't have proper suction, they were running a little hot, so I moved them down here, and they're closer to a fan I can set up, and problem solved. But I got this guy right here sucking, this guy right here sucking, coming out that port. And if you're wondering why I didn't just put the ports here, this is the edge of the house. There's like 2 roofs that come together. There's just no space for it. But that guy right here, this has its own 1060 CFM fan. And then these 2 are hooked to a 1060 CFM fan. That guy's hooked to a 750. And this guy's hooked to a 750. And that looks like there's a crack in the ceiling, but there's not. It's completely sealed on the upper portion. It just looks ugly. But yeah, I might do a subfloor so I don't have to walk over this, but really I don't ever want to be in here. So I'll come and show you where these are pulling from in the house. You'll notice there's got a bit of suction. It closes by itself, but I got these cords running out here. And I think it pulls 1500 watts, but here's my 100 amp sub panel for the power. And the reason that I built this room right here, I figured it could act as kind of like a storage room if I don't ever use this or stop mining, and my wife really wanted me out of the house. But the panel's right here for the house, so it's another reason why I did it. Just ran the 100 amp feed out there, right up through the attic, and right over there is the quickest thing. And this is the kids' room on the other side of the wall. I didn't want to have loud noises there 24/7 for them, so I didn't build it there either. And my wife pulls her car in right here, so it makes sense. But got the intake right here, and that's what feeds it cool air. Our house is usually 76 degrees or colder, and we'll go get a flashlight and I'll take you upstairs. Alright, so that guy you see capped off there is for the winter, when things actually are consistently below 85, 80 degrees. I'm going to hook this guy, which hooks to that vent I just showed you in the house, pulls cool air from the house. I'm going to hook him to there, so he just pulls straight from outside. And this comes over here, and there's the 2 750s pulling from the house, and then over there's the 2 1000s, and I'll crawl over there and show you a little bit more up close, but I need to stop the phone so I can crawl. Alright, and we're back. So, the 2 750s pull from the house over there, one comes over to the far left side of the room. Another one comes right here into one corner of the room. You can see how tight this is right here with the ceiling and the roof. It's on the edge of the house. And then you got your 1060 CFM pulling, 1060 CFM pulling. These are both 12-inch motors. Those are 8-inch motors. The 10-inch is only like not even 100 CFM more, and it's more money, so I didn't go that route. And these only pull 196 watts a piece at max power. These pull about 300 piece max power, so I'm just running them all off of a 20 amp circuit here. And then the exhaust outside right there, that's where all the hot air goes. There is an outside vent right over there. And I'll go show you that. All right, now I'll take you out to over here. So we were just up in there, pulling from the house over there. Cool air is coming down right here. Coming across, feeds cool air directly up. And on the edge, I'm sucking it all right up out here and out of an attic vent. And you can see there's the attic right there, just venting down.
So all the rigs in that room are running on Simple Mining. We got the B250, the Asus here. It's been running for a good 4 hours. I had a GPU OpenCL hang issue. Had to restart it. They're all hashing 30.5-ish, north of 30. I've just been trying to run it stable, see if I can get it to run a week before I go too crazy. I'm just overclocking 1,000. I dropped it to 115, and that's when I got the OpenCL, so maybe this needs to go back up to 120. But they're all in the low to high 60s, depending on if they got good airflow or not by that fan I have sitting in front of it. This rig is my tried and true NVIDIA FEs, Founding Edition 1070s. They run hot, and they're blower cards, so I think that's the best I'm going to be able to do with them, unfortunately. This is the Frankenstein rig that sits right above the Zotac 1070s, and then the EVGA 1060s, which they just run cool. Big old heat sinks on them. And this is a test rig I just have sitting by my desk. But yeah, so I mean, 30% fans. We're in the 40s to 60 is the highest there. So I would say a overall success for temperatures. That's not why I was building the room, but the wife wanted them out of the house. I needed more power so I could set up some more rigs, and now I have 6,500 watts of available power in that room. If I add any more, I might need to get some more cooling, but you can see here how that's working. And if you guys have used Simple Mining, there's a client called Bitvise that's really nice. If you want to actually see what the miner's looking like, what the miner's doing, you can SSH in, kind of like remote desktop for Linux, and you can see what's going on. But yeah, if you got any other questions, just leave them in the comments below.